Yeah, it's cock and bull time, but I'm in a horrible mood, very bad mood, and it's not because it's my anniversary. There's much deeper reasons. Yesterday, I was targeted by the police again. I don't know why they do this. The Mumbai police target me almost every week. And yesterday, with the passing of a legendary singer, I've written the name down, Lata Mangeshkar, obviously everything came to a standstill, which is I'm okay with that because this is a huge, huge name in the history of India. So I understand the logistical side of that, dealing with that. But everybody and their mother came to attend the funeral, except for people like me, working class citizens who had to go to Mall Island to shoot an ad film, which nobody's ever going to watch, right? In the middle of the day, I leave for a night shift, mind you, a night shift for a man who sleeps at 7:30 in the evening. That's a personal issue. I left in the afternoon, and unfortunately, there were police everywhere. The same police you never see. They were everywhere. Every 16 feet, there were two cops, one fat, one less fat, standing there and pointing at you like you're a horrible terrorist and you should be shot, which in some cases is true. And they kept pointing. And the sad part is, I have a gentleman called Costa who works with me. I was supposed to fetch him on the highway because the cheap guy didn't want to come on his own. And I couldn't stop the car. And he couldn't stop the rickshaw. And we couldn't, it was like a bad love story. We couldn't meet because of the Mumbai police. And what was the reason for this? All the way to the airport. We were playing tag. I was saying, okay, 20 feet, aage, 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 nahi, aur aage. And of course, I have no idea of where I am. So I'm saying, khamba ke niche, pool ke niche, behind this hoarding, above that pop's uncle. It's just madness. I was going berserk. Finally, way beyond the airport, somewhere on the left, we found a service road where no cop was for 5 minutes. And that's where we managed to meet and embrace like Romeo and Romeo and moved on. That's on the end of the story. Okay, when we reached Mud Island, just the Mud Island junction area, there was a 47-minute delay because we couldn't move any car because all the cars were going in different directions at the same time and hogging the road. Okay, now there in Mud Island junction, not a single cop, not a single cop. 27,000 of them between the bloody airport and Navy bloody Nagar, and not a single cop in the area where we need them. What do they do? Salute the Prime Minister, the Chief Minister. That's what they do. And shout at all of us with their hands. Move, move, move. This is ridiculous. Am I the only person who's going mad about this? Is there nobody? The insanity of all this? Why are these people out there? All they do is making Mumbai into a car parking area for mantris and VIPs. And the only thing you have to remember is if you're not born a VIP, you suck. You absolutely suck. The police are just there for them. It's got nothing to do with you. You're stuck in Mud Island and nobody, you look left, right, not even a crow will help you. You're just stuck. And that's the state of affairs, ladies and gentlemen. I just want to put it out there. This is the state of affairs. And we were told that this went on for hours because lots of people suffer. I was not the only one. Marriages broke down, families torn apart, asunder because of this. Okay, that's my rant for the day, and it's a very powerful one. I took hours to recover. After that, I had to shoot an ad film with a kid on my lap. So things just got worse. Okay, a 3-year-old. Okay, and a 3-year-old who had to cry at the end of the ad film, cries in tears. And what do you think the parents or the minders wanted to do about that? Say no? No. They encouraged the kid to cry. That's another story for another day. I couldn't believe it. It was so surreal the whole day. All right, let's move in now to our lovely cock and bull committee, which is Silvery. Where is he? Silvery back in
Hello,
Powai.
sir.
One day we met last week in the office, never to be seen again.
Yep.
And obviously, because of the police lack of policing when it comes to traffic, as far as you and me are concerned. And Amit, who goes all the way, ladies and gentlemen, from Walkeshwar all the way to Khar to the studio every day on his own, which is very commendable considering what we have to go through. Did any of you suffer yesterday? Were you out on the Sunday?
I did not leave my house.
You're so lucky. You're absolutely
There
lucky.
was
I mean,
crazy traffic. That's for sure.
yeah, but the
There was
irony for me,
insane
what
traffic.
irony, rather poetic thought that went through my head was that if that damn Pedder Road Bridge was ever made, maybe we'd have been able to escape of this and get out of there faster. It was ridiculous. They wouldn't
Hey,
let us stop like criminals. They just kept waving. Every time I stopped the car, the guy's waving, hey, nay, 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 nay. Because they identified my Jeep as the car which will blow up the country, for sure, and destroy half of Parliament. Me, the guy who can't find his way, no terrorist company would hire me because I can't find my way anywhere. That's the worst terrorist of all time, a guy who can't go from A to B. Those are the idiots who blow themselves up while rehearsing. I belong to that cadre, the worst of all.
They thought, I
People
think,
really.
maybe you were going to go and park your car outside the Ambani house. Like that, such an
Nothing was
audio.
that's a good one, but not in that area. The real problem started after Haji Ali. It just became worse and worse and worse. And then that Andheri stretch, of course, Costa was late. I mean, let's not get into that because I mean, I have to wait for him. Although I have to wait for everyone. I'm like biopic is going to be called Waiting, not for Godo, just for everyone. And so but I'm not joking. This was
Is
it
it?
became like a comedy of
I don't think
errors.
so.
Every 20 or 30
No,
seconds, we would
no,
try another,
I'm not breathing into the mic, right?
or aage, that kind of thing. We couldn't stop. Treated like common criminals. Costa was in tears. I've never seen a grown Bengali man cry like that. He was appalled. Because he first said, "Don't worry, yaar, aage milega, aage milega." After 10 aage milega is not happening, we start feeling defeated by the system. And we were going to work. This wasn't, pleasure or anything. We were going to work in Mud Island. I mean, I was psychologically damaged for 24 hours before that, and a night shift. Oh, I haven't slept, by the way, because of this lovely show. I said no, I'll just do an all-nighter. Came
We
home at 1 o'clock
appreciate
in the
your
morning.
dedication.
Yeah, but what about the Mumbai police? What about the police in general? Why do they do
Hey,
this? Why are
I,
they always just there to flag off people and hurry us around like we're scum? You feel like scum.
I've given up trying to find any logic in this, right? I mean, like it is just frustration after frustration when you have to deal with this stuff, right? All these cops are, it's I don't even know what to
Is
say,
that
right?
in
I don't
the
want to say all cops, but
IPC
it's just like
conditions?
insane.
And they're aggressive, Amit. They're aggressive about it. With
Yep.
zeal. They're doing it all with zeal. I'm like, where's the zeal normally? We have traffic congestion. And look at it. And there we were stuck. Half an hour, 1 hour later, in the middle of nowhere, not a cop in the. No, there's no VIP presence. No, between Malad Marve junction. There you don't
Wow.
find too many inaugurations happening and great men from Delhi and Maharashtra cabinet coming and hanging around.
But
That doesn't happen.
it's not just that, right? It's just like I don't get any of it, right? So I did go out on Saturday morning, and your area, I was out in the Fountain Colaba area on Saturday morning. Holy shit, what was going on over there, right? I mean, it's like every third like foot there is like another cop standing over there.
Why?
I don't know, because there's no traffic. Nobody's on the damn road. There's nothing going on. I don't understand what's going. I was just, I'm looking there.
They
I'm like,
only stand out when there's some guy passing, some
hmm.
great human being who's changed humanity. When that great human being passes, they stand out and they stand.
but
You can see the body language.
but this
Immediately, you
is
know
not.
that someone's
Yeah.
passing.
This is not that, now, because this side is they're in that lane between Khyber and Lionsgate. They're
Oh,
all
you're talking
standing
about
there.
there? Yeah, yeah, there are,
And I
there are.
don't know, but no, it wasn't just like one or two, right? I go through
Yeah,
that lane all
two
the
at least.
time. This time
Yeah,
there were like 100 people there.
maybe because of Aisha, I've complained a lot. So they may have
Okay.
finally looked into it and decided to do the right thing, which is stay the hell away from us. But I can't cope with it anymore. I know again it sounds very elitist and all that, but we were going to work. It's a 2 hour drive to Marway, even on a Sunday. It's not a
Yeah.
joke. And then what the hell? You can't coordinate with another guy to just fetch him on the highway, which everyone does. When you're doing long journeys from different parts, he's on another end of Mumbai, I'm on another end of Mumbai, and we go to the third end.
So
And these guys,
I would just say this, right, Cyrus? That's more of a Cyrus problem than anybody else problem. Because no, there's a very easy way to do this, right? WhatsApp direction share and he'll find you.
no,
But
no, forget that. I'm saying, where do I stop the car? Let's say I'm great at it. They just wouldn't let me stop. They wouldn't let us stop ever. Okay, and they
okay.
won't let anyone stop. So there are
But
lots of people on Sunday are planning to meet other people,
huh,
and you have pickup points all across. And come on,
right.
all of us use the highway and fetch our friends and all from there,
Yeah, yeah,
socially
yeah.
or otherwise. And
Yeah.
you just,
Yeah.
what are you doing? It's a Sunday. I know. I don't want to get angry with Lata, who poor thing is innocent, and I mean, an
And
artist
she
at the end of the day.
died, so probably not want to try, not probably not be pissed off if somebody just died.
But your thoughts go in your head, right? You can't help it.
Yes,
You're a
they do.
human being. You're feeling angry. It's like when you couldn't get a drink on dry day, you just start abusing the system, and then beyond, you go into
Mm.
history and all that. You start blaming the British. Somehow they're responsible. Yeah, they left too early. Should have given us a warning. 2 drinks first and then leave. Anyway, so this was
Uh,
very, very painful for me, and this system is just not changing. I see it where we live, Amit. I don't know in Powai whether he gets the same dose, but we get it all the time
no,
for
it's too
no reason.
much.
The red light is out, 10 cars and 20 people, and everybody stops. And why?
I don't
What
know.
is this madness for the psychophancy and greatness? They just love it. That's when they stand to attention. Otherwise, they don't. A
But
huge change in body language.
I don't understand Valkeshwar Road in that sense, right? Valkeshwar Road,
Oh,
and Malabar Hill,
oh,
this
Oh God.
Ridge Road,
Yeah.
torture.
that it just, I don't get it. It's so like, what are
They don't
people?
want to leave. We built it in Navi Mumbai for them. We built a whole parliament. They won't leave. They
Yeah.
have to stay between damn Nariman Point and Malabar Hill. They screwed us. It's
Yeah.
personal. I mean, it's personal. They hate you and me. Really.
Well, I've heard some stories about that, right? I heard that like major bribes were paid to not have them go to New Bombay when the parliament or when the new Mantralaya was supposed to happen there, right? At that point,
Yes, it's
keeping them over
there. The
here.
building is still there. You can
Yeah.
go and wash your clothes and hang them on the windows and all. It's right there. You see it. I mean, it's a white elephant.
But
Who's
by not
responsible?
moving, they basically increased property prices
Sorry.
in that whole area like dramatically. And so
If that was facetious, well done. If not, it's
actually, it
real funny.
wasn't, but it works on both sides. I was talking
Yeah, it
about the
does.
Nariman Point side also, and I'm talking about the New Bombay side. Both things are true.
Yeah. Oh man, what a unbelievable. I mean, I just throughout this whole fascism looming over your head during the pandemic, the one thing I hate is these guys just just manhandling citizens for no reason. And it happens at Nakabandis and everything else, the way they stop people and talk down
Mhm.
to them and everything. What is all this rubbish? Get
So,
on with it. You know where the
did
crime
you?
really is. Don't joke.
This is I so again I went this Sunday. I went to sorry, Saturday I went to Colaba. Right, I haven't been on to
It's a
Colaba
mess.
often recently. Right,
Outside
but
Kushrubag, people are being buried there. It's
okay,
tremendous.
no, no,
Did you
I'm
see
not
the
even I'm
construction?
not even going that far. Right, but on Chopati, right where the signal is, there is a Nakabandi over there, and now there's a sign over there which says Nakabandi Point. Like
Which
so, the
by the way is
Nakabandi.
illegal. According
It's
to
a
YT Singh, who's
Nakabandi.
been on the program, it's illegal. They
Huh.
have to put a 24-hour notice in the newspapers and the media outlets, okay,
Hmm.
digital or whatever, 24-hour notice before doing it. They just do it.
No,
And
but
you're right, that
what is
junction is
this?
ridiculous. It's a very dangerous area to suddenly, if
Yeah.
there's a big police van and this and that, and it causes all
And
kinds of traffic.
what's the sense of a nakabandi if it's permanent? Then it might as well just be like a police stop or a police chalk or whatever you want to call
You're
it. No?
right. So all the criminals can avoid it, and only you and me get
Yeah,
inconvenience. It's personal. It's very personal.
I saw that. I'm like, wait, if this is a nakabandi point, that means there's a nakabandi here all the time. So you're not catching any drunk
Oh, I
drivers
thought
here.
you do the
You
wordsmith thing and say, what's the point of the Nakabandi point? Yeah, it's
You know,
pointless. I thought
I
you'd go with that. Yeah.
I
uh,
on a breathalyzer test once, I once like tested
Past.
positive for alcohol because of perfume that I had just sprayed on myself, and it was still in the car, and it caught it. The machine caught it, but I had not drunk. So I was like adamant, no, no, check again, check again. Second
Is
time
that
again, it caught
possible?
it. Yeah, then they got me out of the car. They didn't believe me, right? So I'm like, no, no, I'm gonna get me another machine. I'm gonna take another test, right?
Hmm.
So I got out of the car, and after like about 2-3 minutes, the guy like banged the machine a bit. Even he didn't know what the problem was, whether I was telling the truth or not. And so he's like, "Acha, आखिरी बार इसमें blow करके देखो." And then it came negative. And then I realized, oh, maybe it's because I had just sprayed DO on myself in the car. So maybe because
Dio
that. And then he
doesn't
was
turn
like,
off
"हाँ,
a
ये होता है." That's what he said.
nahi hota hai.
He
Dio
said
is
होता है.
not. No,
That's what he
dude.
said.
It was just a faulty
Dio,
machine.
yeah, dude. Dio doesn't have
Or he was
alcohol
trying to
in it.
scam, maybe. I don't know.
Oh, you were just drunk and you were denying it in denial. I used to do that
No,
all the
And
but
time when I was
I
drinking.
wasn't drunk.
I'm sober,
I
I'm fine,
wasn't
I'm
drunk.
fine. I'll drive home. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, why will I just bring it up right now if I was telling the truth?
Because
If
when
I
you're
was in
drunk, you
fact
don't
drunk.
remember the truth. So you don't know if you were drunk or
No, no,
not.
I wasn't.
Same thing happened to my
See,
friend for disinfectant spray. Now,
disinfectant spray.
Ruben,
Okay.
what the hell's
But no,
going
I wasn't
on?
using, I was using
The
Dio,
guy
literally Dio.
disinfects the car and then he's in jail for drinking and
yeah,
driving. It's a bit fishy for me. Yeah.
that seems
But
It
unlikely.
happened, yes.
by the way, I don't know. Amit is very distracted today. There's people talking to him on all sides. What's going on, Amit?
I don't know. Rishi is moving the mic around. So I'm like, okay, go for it, Rishi.
Rishi's like the phantom, the ghost who walks. We don't see him, but there's some presence that we feel. It's eerie and scary actually at the same time. Please ask him to pop into the frame once in a while so people know who he is because we use his reference all the time. Okay, we have a photo in the background of
We can do
Rishi
that.
throughout
What
the
I can
show.
do is I have all this stuff over here now. Let's
Yeah,
get a Rishi bobblehead doll
yeah,
made and we can put it right
absolutely.
there.
So when we
Yeah.
make a Rishi remark, we can do a close or at least you can point with your finger and remind people that is Rishi with an H, by the way. Remember. Yeah. Um. By the way, we've got to do word of the day as well, folks. It's a
Oh,
Monday.
today is the
That's right.
day where I make you all feel like fools.
Yeah, that's
I'm
right.
sorry, I didn't have to say that.
That's right. That's right. No, it's correct. Being the pomposity is very acceptable, and I totally
All
because
right.
last time it was ridiculous because you're not an arrogant person by nature. I would say it full of bombast as I am, and maybe
Mm.
silvery with your friends, but you don't do that. So I'm a little scared when you looked at us and said, "What you guys don't use this word in everyday." Who
Dude,
came up with a figure?
guff,
Remember, his figure was 30% of his friends. 30% of his friends use this on a
dude,
regular
guff
basis.
and dross.
Is it
So,
Shashi Tharoor?
so
You?
I
Who are the friends?
no, guy, dude. I saw so dross as a word is biblical. I saw somebody put that in the YouTube comments. It's used in the Bible a bunch, right? So
What are you
you should know.
saying? Who's quoting
Yeah,
the Bible? What do you? What
I'm
are
not
you?
quoting the Bible,
Rednecks
but you're
in
not familiar with
Missouri or
biblical
something walking
passages.
around quoting the Dross. Dross
But are
said
you
to
not
God.
familiar with biblical passages?
But we don't use them.
Neither do I. But it was I think it was it was a camel and the going through heaven verse which
Now he's
uses the
going to
word
tell us how
dross.
much he knows about scriptures.
I don't know
Unbelievable.
scripture at all, dude. I'm saying
You're-
camel going
because
through
we don't
needle.
know about this camel. This camel wouldn't have survived Mumbai traffic. The police wouldn't have let him stop. The camel would have gone straight back to Arabia with the three wise men, all bucket seated
Sorry,
together.
I don't read books. What is this Bible you're speaking of?
Stop
It is the
watching.
best-selling book of all
Watch it.
time. It is literally the
Oh,
best-selling
okay.
book of all time. It
Is it?
sold more than yeah,
It
Is it
exactly.
true?
Yeah, that's true.
yeah. It
It
is
is
the
true.
best-selling
Yeah,
book of
yeah.
all time.
I know. Correct.
It
Followed
is
by
I got
One
a
Piece.
B in
No, no, that's
GCSE religious studies and never read the Bible. And
followed
Royston,
by
I
Game of
presume,
Thrones.
is a Disa, so I presume he's Christian
Game of
at least
Thrones.
by descent. Okay, wow. Yeah. That's a bit like,
No,
when
but
you
I've
don't know
never
your
read
own.
the Bible either. But I mean, these words are around.
No, I've been in scripture class, so I'm quite familiar, I would say, with a little bit of the Bible. But yeah, but it's a bit like when you don't know your own religion or you sort of, it's not like you're against it, but you don't know it. It's a bit like how we don't end up going to the zoo in our own city. Have you noticed that? You never go to the
Uh,
zoo in your own city. You tend to
but
generally go to zoos in other cities.
I haven't been to the zoo in our city in, geez, since I was in
Yeah,
school.
Rani Bagh, ladies,
Yes,
Rani Bagh. Yeah,
I
and we've got
literally,
penguins. Some
yeah.
have survived. Yeah, just saying. Okay, sorry, you were saying about zoos, but in
Uh,
America, have you gone to the Bronx Zoo, for
no,
example?
no, I haven't been to a zoo since I was like 20 years old.
Yellowstone Park, whatever. They hardly have zoos now. It's almost banned. So, yeah.
No, they do
Good.
still have a few zoos, but I've been to Yellowstone Park, but again, I think I was 19 or 20.
We have
Uh,
zoos where powerful people meet to discuss policy, but I don't know if. And you can. There's a viewing gallery. I want to go once. Have you been? Without taking names.
uh,
Shall I book
mm,
Aisha? The artist has come. Should I book her for Aisha? Will you do the
ask
show
her.
on Feb 14, Valentine's Day, next Monday? Sorry to do this live, folks, but this is a very pricey artist. I have to do it live or we'll lose it. They want to do 14th Valentine's Day.
Valentine's Day.
Well, three of the group said
Yes.
no to you having you on. I'll be honest, but Amit and Silvery are keen. So I mean, it's yeah. People are saying it's a bit of
More
a
than love.
repeat. I'm like, if they think this is a repeat, try marriage. What the hell? So,
No, no, but well,
no. Every time about Kunal. This is ridiculous.
yeah, this would be more fun with
Aisha, can you hear? Have I pulled it
we
out?
will call Kunal for Friendship Day.
Amit, let's do another, let's do a
Yeah.
marriage counseling show. I don't want to.
That'd be great. Also, yeah. Let's
Cyrus
see if we
muted
can figure that
himself.
out. Figure that out.
Oh God, Cyrus muted himself.
Cyrus, you muted yourself. Yeah. What the hell? I heard him say what? Like,
This is going
I
mouth.
pulled out the plug. She's still alive. What's going on?
Let's do a marriage.
This is a live show. You can't
Yeah,
negotiate
oh.
what you want to do on the 14th at your own place. Okay, get it right. Are you in?
No,
6 o'clock. Why?
there's nothing to discuss. They'll
They'll ask questions. We don't expect you to do a monologue about how much you love me. Come on, that will be what, 10
But there
seconds?
isn't. We've done this, and nothing has changed.
But then why are we still married?
We'll have enough.
I mean, everything should have a shelf life if you don't want to do
You have a
Valentine's Day.
shelf life. You're out now.
Come on, please. Come on. And stop being loving and all this. It's not in the Bible. It's not in the Bible. And we have Bible experts, biblical experts here. Now I have to go back into the audio.
Dare you?
Hello. Can you hear me?
I'm impressed,
Yes, sir.
Cyrus.
Yeah,
Mike in and out. 2 years.
Yeah,
Impressed.
but
Yeah.
I didn't hear a word you all are saying and deny everything. And then there won't be any Valentine's Day and it'll be my fault. Gemini. I'll take a chance for Gemini. My dad's a Gemini. They're all Geminis. They just don't remember what they say. They're just really three lovely persons, lovely people. Word of the day. So we get on with word
Yes,
of the
sir.
day.
Yes,
And of
let's
course,
do
one
word
of
of
the
the
best,
day.
ladies and gentlemen, on Amit Doshi, our reigning champion. He's the Tyson Fury of his time. undefeated.
Unbeatable.
And a little
Yeah.
bit trash talking has started. Us is not a violent sport, but it's getting that tendency now.
No, because
Little bit of
see,
trash.
here's the thing, right? You picked words which I knew last time. This time you'll probably pick words which I don't
Yeah.
know.
It
So
was
might
the
as
way
well
you
get the
told
yeah.
question
us,
while I
Cyrus
can,
has
the way
right?
you,
upped his
the
bar.
way you were,
Of,
no,
yeah.
Silver, the way he was appalled that we didn't know it. That's what drove me
Correct.
mad. I didn't mind that he
Come
knew
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
on,
Yeah.
because he
dude,
seems to be quite learned and all that.
no,
That's
but
good.
so okay, dross is biblical, and I cannot believe that you don't know the word guff. It feels like a word which is so natural to you.
It's Scottish. I don't know it, Gov. It's a difficult one.
Guff, not gov. Guff.
I told you there were two meanings. Its roots are in Scotland.
Okay.
Okay, come on, let's. Otherwise, you'll never land up doing anything. It's already 6:21. Okay, the first one is an adjective, and I'll spell it out. I hope I can pronounce it correctly. Addle-pated. Addle-pated. The pronunciation may be a little off because these are really
But
strange words.
Addle-pated.
can I
Addle-pated.
is this
One L, bro. Addlepated. It's an adjective.
but
So you're describing it.
is this like so can I break this word up, or is it like a single word like this,
No,
right?
it's a single word. Mr. Bible, you can't just make your own rules.
No, I'm not
It's a
making
full
my own
word.
rules. I see you generally
You
try to
can.
find words which you can break up, right?
You can find your genesis through your
Is it
breaking up process. It's very acceptable. I
Okay, so
understand the
then
technique.
addle-brained
Is
means
it to be
basically
excited
somebody
or
who's a
animated?
Okay,
Oh, okay.
Silvery, shall
No.
we accept
Okay,
your
no.
ridiculous statement or give him a chance to actually
No.
try?
I thought
What to do?
Amit already knew, kind of. Do you already know Amit?
I mean,
What he's trying to do is divide the word to which
yeah,
part he's more
so like
familiar with. Yeah,
see,
go on.
pated can also mean brained, and addle-brained means dumbass, confused, moronic, stupid, basically somebody who's in a brain fog kind of this, right? So
I hate you. I just hate you. And no,
Wow.
we don't
This
use
is
it on
okay.
everyday basis. We never use it on
no,
everyday
we don't
basis.
use it,
All our
but
friends use it.
addle-brained is a
Silvery
word,
has
no?
never, the whole of Mumbai, not one person has ever used the
Weird,
word addle-pated. Not once.
I have not used the word addle-pated. That's why I asked you if I can break it
No,
up, right? Because
he just
addle-brained
Still
is
like
the
hate
broke
word
it
you.
I've
down.
used.
This is ridiculous. But it's absolutely
Yeah.
spot on. So so having a muddled or confused mind is the exact perfect meaning, which you've completely
Wow.
nailed correctly. The adjective addle-pated, which is how I feel right now, wasting my time
Okay.
doing these stupid games.
This is damn. Wow. How do
I
you
think
do
it's
this,
going to
man?
Amit's
So
head,
cool.
no, Silvery? Now
Dude,
it's
yeah,
like he's
like
getting better and
I
I'm
better.
can't
feeling
understand. Like
arrogant now.
now I
People,
think,
people
why did
watching,
I catch Addle? Like I could at least have caught half the points through just saying Addle.
just
Oh well.
mute Amit for word of the day. Fair enough.
Yeah.
This did not solve my pomp. How haven't you guys heard? Really? But people listening, please, I want to, I swear on my mother, I
No,
want to
but
swear here
I do
that he
not know the
doesn't know
word
the word from
addle-pated.
before. He
I did not know
actually,
the word addle-pated.
yeah,
I made it. I broke it from addle-brained. I
yeah.
went forward because pated is the top of your head, right? So pated brain that way.
It's scary because you did it perfectly. And the moment you said break it, my heart was breaking. Because I said, oh God, that means he's figured out one of the two parts of the word and he's going to put it together. And yeah. And then you said the word muddled immediately, or muddled or confused. One of these words you used immediately. And then Silvery, unfortunately, didn't give us something else quickly enough for us to get,
I didn't. Yeah.
to
Sorry.
distract
Sorry.
your mind.
Yeah.
Horrible moment. It's 1-0. Home side is leading. Let's see if West Indies can come back with the next word. Okay, this is a noun. Silvery, please, for
Yes.
God's sake, get this right. Only out of
Yeah. This is
petty,
mine. This is mine.
yes,
Yeah.
just
For
to
sure.
stop the juggernaut. Okay, it's Termagant. I think it's pronounced with the J. So Termagant.
With a G, right?
Could you spell it again?
Termagant. If you can just text it, then we
Okay,
look at it.
dude, I'm sorry,
Termagant.
but I'm just gonna say Shakespeare.
Okay.
I'm just gonna say it, Shakespeare. And if you
Okay.
guys, and dude, you're a theater guy. How have you not heard this?
No, I know the word. I know the
Okay.
word. Shakespeare or not. But
Okay.
so
So
you
now
know the
you're
answer?
both looking at me. Okay.
Silvery, you want to give it a crack?
Okay. It's like detergent. So like half of detergent is something with gent, right? So
And all of
detergent is
Shakespeare's
also a
plays.
deterring gentleman. That's also detergent. So it's a something to
Yeah.
do with the gentleman.
The Two
And
Gentlemen of
term
Verona.
is
That's one of the
yeah.
plays.
So
Yes.
it's a person who is only for a fixed term is a man, is a gentleman, and otherwise he's
Okay,
not a
you got
gentleman.
the gender wrong. I'll give you that
Oh
much.
wow. That's all I got wrong.
No, everything's
Okay.
wrong. But the gender
Yeah,
to
okay.
begin with, if you
Exactly.
could,
So
that would, yeah.
what do you say?
Actually, I
No,
give
I
you a
don't think
clue
so,
if you think about it. You got the gender wrong, and I said
Okay.
the word Shakespeare. You can kind of maybe make your way through it from that.
I got
Okay, you're
gender wrong.
talking
So
about one
it's a
particular
woman.
play whose
I'm talking about
title
one particular play, right? That's how I know this word as
explains.
well.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think
Merchant
our
of Venice.
comedian friend is not really
Mer-
interested in that one particular play.
I don't
Okay.
know. Julius Caesar. I'm not gonna name.
No. It's in the title is
It's
a
the name of
close option. Okay, I'll tell
Of
you.
the
It's
character. Oh, I don't know this. I don't know
five
this.
Actually, I don't
words.
think I've ever read the play itself. Huh?
You haven't read
I
the
must
preview of
have.
the show.
Yeah. I don't think I'm trying to remember the play itself, and I
A
can't
few
remember
minutes
the play
ago, I
itself.
presented to you my beautiful wife, who, let's say, some would sometimes refer to as a termagant woman. Okay, so it's
So
a
it means
harsh-tempered or
It's a
overbearing
shrew,
woman.
right? It's basically a shrew.
Huh?
Yeah.
shrew. Okay.
Nothing, honey. Shakespeare. Ah, damn, poor man, going berserk. Termagant. So, unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, watching this show, this horrible, horrible program has got even worse with us unable to stop Rafael Nadal, the aging champion, on our show,
Yeah.
as he's able
Yeah.
to.
Well,
Please, next Monday, it's a Valentine's Day. So, what I'm going to do is, if somebody can send 2 words to Silvery that are really challenging, so that Amit just is brought down on his knees, we'll keep it as a neutral word of the day
Yeah.
option from whoever sends us words. All right. And so we don't show it to him, huh? Whatever happens. Just to keep your
Okay.
job and all, don't do these silly things. Just because you're Indian doesn't mean we have to do this. I mean, we have to, but
Absolutely.
don't always do.
Correct.
Cool.
Okay, quickly, Cyrus, 2 old words from previous episodes for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
The first one is meretricious. Do you know what meretricious means?
Ah, Christ. Use it. Amit, do you remember?
I don't think I was there for this particular episode.
Uh
And I don't think I actually,
so Amit,
unless it
no?
means like meritus or
no, that's too
some of
obvious.
like, yeah, unless it's something like,
It's too obvious.
being
I wouldn't
good
have
at
used that
something,
word.
unless it's
I don't
something
think I
like
would
that, I
have
have
put
no
it
idea.
down if it was so obvious. Yeah, it's got to be something else. Is
I,
it
I do not know.
is it difficult? Does it
It
mean like
is
something difficult?
it is something slightly sexual.
Oh, that sounds like me.
Okay. I'll just tell you guys.
Yes,
It
please.
says of or relating to a prostitute, having the nature of prostitution, meretricious relationships.
Oh,
So
right.
of or relating to a prostitute.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Matlabi sexual relationships. Correct. Yeah.
Okay, I feel like I
Okay.
probably was here for this particular episode because I think I remember
Hey,
hearing this,
even
but I
Don
don't have
Bradman got up 0 in his last test innings. It's okay,
Yeah.
bro. Your average fell finally. Forget it.
Yeah.
That's all right. I'm
Okay, and the
okay.
second word.
But I like the way you
Yeah,
almost got yourself out of the episode so that you remain with a 100% record. That was nice.
that's,
The
every time
No,
I
but I
perfect
said
don't
no, I
remember
just
the
wasn't
word
there.
at all. But I do remember some word around.
You remember the word prostitute.
Yeah,
Everything
I
else
remember.
is difficult, but that word comes
Yeah.
back. See?
Yes.
Beautiful minds. And the second word?
Recondite. Recondite.
Oh, damn it.
This I
RECONDITE.
know.
Oh, damn. This was a recent one. It wasn't that far back.
It wasn't that long ago. Yeah.
I'll let Amit answer this. He's just on a roll, man. I don't want to take away from the thunder and the lightning and the glory.
But
and
you
all.
should know this. It's not.
Recondite with an
Yeah.
N.
It's
No,
not.
tell me what I should know. Come on.
No,
That's
but
not fair.
okay. Well, I mean,
You
like
got the record now.
it means okay, something which is people
It's
are
a noun,
kind of familiar
right?
with, but not really. They don't really know it. They don't really kind of fully grasp it. Something like that. It means something like that,
Yeah,
right?
It's a noun.
absolutely. You're exactly on the. You're almost there. Basically,
Okay.
so Cyrus, you want to take a better shot at it, but Amit is there basically.
Which is exactly the meaning.
No, not exactly. So basically, it is something that is little known or understood by people. No, it doesn't have to be always be explained.
You don't
like when they're
fully
talking
grasp
about
it. You only
We
kind of
should
have
change the podcast name to
Yeah.
Recondite in that case.
That's actually
Honestly,
a good
this
name for a
is
Recondite.
podcast.
it's a great
Amrish, we
name,
should put this.
Recondite.
Yeah, it's a great name for a podcast, right? Something where we
Yeah.
just kind of sort of know something but don't really.
We're off the hook. We're
Yeah.
off the hook. We can
Totally.
discuss anything, but it says Recondite. I mean, come on. Yeah. Okay. 6:30,
Yep.
by the way, ladies and gentlemen. Should we take our
right.
break now, or should we do get into something first?
Let's
do
take
the
a break
and-
and we'll be
yeah,
right
and
back.
then-
Okay. And once again, I ask you, since we've done our research beforehand, this will be a break with a lot of pomp and splendor. There you go.
Full
Here's
on.
the break.
The works.
Hey everybody, it's been another great week on the IVM Podcast Network. On Cyrus Says, good friend of the show, good friend of Cyrus and myself, Mangalam Mallu is on. He's the assistant editor and anchor at CNBC TV 18, and he and Cyrus discuss how the budget of 2022 affects us all. On This Round is on me. We flipped the script as Gauri is a guest on her own show. Check it out as Kavita Rajwade, my co-founder at IVM Podcast, hosts this very special episode. On Misconduct, Ragvi and Nisha are joined by Priya Mirza. She's the host of the Longest Constitution podcast. They take a close look at the former Prime Minister of India, Indira Gandhi. On Audio Gyan, Kedar talks to Dr. Simin Patel. She's the co-founder of the Bombay Wala Historical Works. She talks about how she picks out the most interesting stories to showcase. And on Tere Mere Raste, Kesho tells us the amazing transformation of the ravaged land of Purnapani. Do follow us on social media. We're IVM Podcast on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. Also, please do tell a friend. It really does help us when you spread the word about our podcast. And I'd also like to ask you if you could rate or recommend wherever you listen to our podcast. And speaking of where you listen to this show, if you're on an Android phone, do check out our new Android app. We have a brand new app with a brand new listening experience. Definitely check it out. I think you will enjoy it. And finally, we'd like to thank our sponsors this week, Bank of Baroda and CoinSwitch Kuber. Thank you so much for making this possible.
You know, when you take a few seconds for the ad to roll after you say, let's check out the ad, that awkward moment, pause like that. When it happens on stage, it's even worse. You guys remember when you do Silvery? When you announce
We're
something,
waiting for
and
something to play.
no, especially when you say,
announce
when it's
something.
Silvery
Yeah.
and the crickets, and you're supposed to start
Correct.
playing,
And nobody.
and you don't. And then after a minute, they say, go back on. Because there's some plug issue or God knows what. They just have to start playing. It's happened so many times to me. And you build them up with such fanfare and you exit and then you have to come back and then build them up again. And it's so awkward.
Okay, at this point in my life, right, I have worked on podcasts. I have worked on feature films. I have worked on television. I've worked on ad films. The single hardest production I think that I've ever been a part of is a part-time play that or is a play done by students. Like like doing production in theater is fucking hard, much more so than I feel like any of these other things are, right? I mean, like, because everything can go wrong at any given point in time. The cascading effects are disastrous. You're live at the time. It's just the most stressful production I think I ever did was when I was a senior in college. We produced so we did a version of King Lear where there were three actors, and basically every act the actor changed who they were playing.
Oh,
so it was fun. It was a cool kind of this, right? But it was the single hardest production I think I've ever done in my life. The theater is just terrible, or
there's
it's
a
just
reason
bad.
for that.
Awesome.
Lack of funds. Lack of funds makes production a nightmare also. Because you got to find people who will be more inventive.
Yeah.
For example, instead of 6 apples, I remember once we used to use only 2, even though the phrase is 6, because we couldn't find 4. And the play had to start. That's the way it is.
Yeah.
You have to make a little ad lib on that.
The show must go on, as they say, right?
Show must go on. No, these things happen last minute, so there's nothing you
Yeah.
can do. You're trying to look at everything else from lines downwards, and suddenly, boom, little prop here and there is missing or less than what it is. And if it's pointedly there in the script, you're screwed.
Yeah.
Silvery, don't go back to
Amit,
the
were you
theatre.
in plays as a kid? Were you like acting in plays?
I
or not?
was behind
He
the
played
scenes.
one of the daughters of King Lear. He
I
just told
did
you they
not.
kept changing the actors.
Okay.
That could be really confusing. Oh my God. You know,
Yeah, it was an interesting adaptation that these guys had done. I was behind the scenes. I was not. Acting is not my forte. Vocabulary clearly is, but acting is not.
yeah. You should do a
Sure,
quiz.
sure.
You should, whatever happens, Amitabh Bachchan will not want you around, because if you come on Kaun Banega, there goes all the money that they've saved by putting all these middle class people on who don't know have any idea of any question. And
No,
then
but I don't
boom.
know. I don't think I have general knowledge like that, right? I think it literally is just English language vocabulary. My
Okay,
general
let me
knowledge is
test
actually
your
pretty
general
poor.
knowledge.
Yes.
Name 5 cricketers from the under 19 team that won the World Cup in Antigua on Saturday. Your time starts now.
I can't name even one.
Not even one.
Oh.
What about you, Silvery?
Yeah, it's pretty simple. Yeah, Siddharth Shukla,
Good try, because they're
Vikram Podar.
mostly North Indian boys, the names. So good try. I'll
Yeah,
give you.
I mean, also nobody knows
If
them.
you
How do
apply
you know
your
I'm wrong?
mind to the word game like you do for the cricket game,
Sorry.
I can see
Sorry to the
success at
players.
some point. Yeah.
You
Let me
guys
tell
are
you
awesome.
a little bit more about that. They're getting 40 lakhs a piece. These are 18-year-old boys from the government of India. And the support staff, which includes people like the masseur, which generally, is not the most difficult job in the world. I mean, you just do a little massaging, and which you would do anyway. 25 lakhs each for winning. So who says there's no money in sports in India? What you must say is there's no money in other sports in India. These
What's going
guys
on?
are great.
Was Raj Bawa one of them?
Of course, one of the
Interesting.
stars, all rounder. He's going to be the next Kapil Dev.
My
Yeah.
cousin's husband's name.
Wow.
My cousin's husband's name is Raj Bawa.
Yeah, but I
Okay.
think there's
Also,
a middle
Jeffrey
name as
Bawa was
well.
a famous architect. This thing.
No,
There you
I'm
go.
sure it's
So,
a different
and
Bawa.
many Parsis are called Bawa. So I mean, there's
Yeah,
a
they're called
26 degrees
Bawas.
of
No,
separation
but
happening here.
this guy. So I saw Raj Bawa's name here, and I'm like, "What's Raj Bawa? Why the hell?
Yeah.
Why is no?" Because again, he's my cousin's husband, and he's a fan of our show, and I'm like, "Is he on?"
Well,
the
then your
episode?"
cousin has married an 18-year-old
Could
boy
have
from
been,
Punjab who
yeah,
is
could
going to
this
be the
be his
future of
son or
Indian
something?
cricket.
Probably
So.
more like a 55-year-old man from Punjab.
See,
But
that's not
yeah.
happening because that India is not famous for the under 19 being filled with grandfathers. There are two neighboring countries which are apparently, but not us. Yeah. Silvery, any more questions on the under 19 team's victory against England in the final? So I suppose asking to
Si-
name the English captain would be like not even. I mean, why?
I
Right?
mean, forget, man. Like,
I
yeah.
mean,
I
really,
mean, I'll
don't
make
ever.
something up if you want.
Yeah, like
Paul
Siddharth
McCartney.
Shukla. Yeah, Paul
Is the
McCartney.
English
Well,
captain. Yeah,
Paul is fairly common. Yeah, good. Well done.
yeah.
Okay,
All right.
so that's out of the air. So we hit to breaking news stories. By the way, are you Lata Mangeshkar fans? I mean, I suppose there
Well,
is
I
some
mean,
music you like.
Quite
she's
big, I would
yeah,
say.
it's
And
important.
she's just some of the old, like, exact. Sorry, please go ahead. No,
No,
go
no,
ahead.
go ahead, go ahead.
Okay, I'm just saying, okay, like a lot of the older songs, right? If you go back and listen, just type Lata Mangeshkar songs, and every single song is like, dude, I love that song. Oh, I love that song also. Oh, I love this song also. I love that. Everything
It's
is
like
sung by her.
seven,
Man, it is very
eight
When
sad.
decades,
when you
decades,
make
Yeah,
all
13.
the songs in a 25-year period,
yeah,
where 90% of the songs are made by you, you will have some hits there.
Yeah, well,
exactly.
sung
Yeah,
by
that's
you.
true.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's
Yeah.
what
yeah.
I.
Well, we'll
No,
leave
so,
we'll
but
leave the
Talent, though. Yeah.
criticism of your point, which opens another door
I'm not
into
getting into that.
monopolistic traditions and all
Yeah,
that. We'll have to leave for another day. There's a
yeah.
certain period that you have to wait after this kind of thing,
A
just from
day
a
is not
sensible
enough.
point of view. I thought
No,
at least
but
72 hours under
okay, all
the.
right. No, but I don't think that detracts from the fact that she was an enormously important figure in Indian culture, right? If you think about post-independence India, right, she's one of the names, right? I mean, like the stories you hear about that song that she sung for the "A Mere Watan Ke Logo," and like
Correct.
Nehru
Hmm.
starting to cry and all that kind of stuff. This is part of the mythology of the country, right? So
And it spans her singing music influence will span almost like you said from almost the birth of the country till
yeah,
right now till a few years back,
she,
still
she
active till
was
a few years back.
she was
Yeah,
17 years old when India got independence, right?
there
1990.
you go.
She was born 92. This is the 75th year. So she was 17 years old when India got independence. She
Yeah.
rose to prominence when she was 12 or 13 years old, as in like that's
13,
when
yeah,
people were like,
the
she's
first
got the
recording.
voice.
I
But
remember I myself was about 14 at
yeah,
that time. Yeah.
contemporaries, man. I mean, like I know
Yeah.
that you all were contemporaries.
Contemporaries, and you can see that the talent was not distributed equally by if there is a God. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Did you ever meet her, Cyrus? Did you ever meet
I
her
did
or
one
Asha?
interview with her,
Asha was
but
there?
Asha I did two or three, and
Okay.
at least one event. So more with her, but Lata one event. And again, with both of them, the kind of our PR people, what is up with PR people? Why do we hire these PR people? The one thing they don't understand is PR. They scare you about the person you're going to meet. It's just they don't know how to be
Yeah.
informal and easygoing, which is the best way to talk to people because
Yeah,
most people are normal. You just talk to them normally.
I
And she loves
agree.
cricket, for example, because she had this great relationship with a guy I really liked, Raj Singh Dungapur, and so she loved the cricket. She knew her cricket because Raj was. I could hang out with Raj Singh Dungapur like for days. If we were jailed together, I would be okay. Of course, towards the end, he seemed to lose his mind and all that, but that seems to happen to all of us. It was fantastic. Now we digress. You cannot participate in this program. It's my
He's
dog.
missing Lata Mangeshkar also.
She
Big
is.
fan.
She's. Yeah,
She
Mary's a
is.
huge
Yeah.
fan. Yeah.
Yeah.
In our drinking days, Kunal and I would actually don. He would play Lata and sing. Oh God, it was awful. Both his look and his singing, really awful.
No, he did it
Uh,
even at that play that you guys were doing, right? He started
yeah,
with Tina
it's
Turner
one of
and
the
then he
few things
became.
he actually did really well.
Oh,
The Mangeshkar sisters.
oh,
So
wow.
to avoid being sued, we called her the fifth sister, Nisha. And I mean, I don't want to tell you about all the other jokes that came out of that. It's just not correct, PC wise. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
Okay,
The
let's. We haven't done a topic. 6:40
we,
No, we
as usual.
haven't. But
Yeah.
while we've been talking, right, one of my colleagues from work, Abhineet, who handles all our YouTube stuff, he has sent me a topic saying, "Okay, please get Cyrus to talk about this." But I don't think you would know anything about this, Cyrus.
I
Kylie
don't.
Jenner announces birth of second child with Travis Scott. Do you know
Oh,
any of
one
these
second.
terms? Do
I
you know
need
any of these?
Maya. Maya knows the Kardashians in and out. Like how you know King Lear.
Oh, really?
Some people are Shakespeare fans.
Oh,
You want
okay.
Kardashians? You have to ask her, and she knows. I mean,
Please,
the
please,
genesis
please.
of where they come. Oh
Let's
my
see.
God. Yeah,
Let's
and
see
you
what she
can't
says.
call the artist formerly known as Bruce Jenner, Decathlon, who I knew in 1980 won the gold medal and all that. He doesn't like
Yeah.
that reference because once you trans or whatever, that's another whole PC which I don't get, man.
Hmm.
I don't want to disrespect anyone, but I just don't get it. Like you can't mention the past, and I mean, whatever. So
they
now
call it
here's
the
what you have to
dead
explain to
name,
me because
right?
I can't find Maya. No, Amit,
Hmm.
this is very
Okay, no worries.
important for us to understand. He was born a man. He then becomes he doesn't become a woman. He becomes something else, and he's in
I
love
mean, he's a
with.
transgender woman.
No, he's a transgender woman. He's had
But his
surgery.
his sexual
Yeah.
pairing now is what? Male or female?
He's attracted to women. No, sorry, he's attracted to men now? I'm not
No,
sure.
he's
I
attracted to
could be wrong.
women.
Wait,
I'm
that's
He's
pretty sure.
attracted.
interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, I think
So who
yeah, he just felt like he was a woman in a man's body, right? But he was continued to.
Yeah.
I think he continues to remain
so does
attracted to
that make
women.
him a lesbian? It's a little confusing. Again, no offense here. This is, we're not being facetious, and
Hmm.
I'm seriously asking this
Dude, I
question.
honestly, I'm a little confused by this stuff. The way I see it is, let's just kind of be respectful to everybody and let it go at that, right? Because
To
it's
each their
confusing.
Yeah.
own. It's all good. I'm
Yeah.
just saying. I just want to understand because you're saying that. So they've had a baby. Now they've had a baby, incubator, etc. What? How's the baby? And the partners. What's the name again?
Who?
Travis
Tell me.
Scott and Kylie
Tra-
Jenner. Kylie Jenner announces
Travis is
birth
a
of
male name.
second child with Travis Scott. Yeah, Travis
Travis?
Scott is
Isn't Travis
is
Scott
a
like a country singer?
no, he's
Every
a
country
rapper,
singer
if
has
I'm
a
not
Travis
wrong.
first name.
I don't know, man.
But
I
but,
don't,
but
I don't. He's an
Huh?
American rapper. Yeah, yeah. I know
He's
so
a rapper.
little
Okay, all
for
right.
people my age. Yeah.
country
Okay.
singer rapper, that's a mile apart. But
Yes, it is.
I don't understand. So you said he likes women. Then why does he like Travis? Unless Travis sees himself as a
No,
woman.
Kylie
No,
Jenner. Kylie
Kylie
Jenner is a
Jenner,
different
his
person.
daughter,
Oh,
Yeah,
Kylie Jenner, the kid, the super rich
yeah,
one.
the super rich one.
yeah. The super
Yes.
rich one. Yes,
Oh
yes. But
yeah,
all of them
as
are
a big
super rich.
fan.
So now
Okay,
this makes sense. You thought we were talking
now it
about
makes sense.
Bruce Jenner slash Caitlyn Jenner the
Yeah,
whole
I thought
time.
like where did that
I'm
come
like,
It's
from?
why
not
did that
easy for
come
me.
out from
There's a whole
anywhere?
family
That's
of
Caitlyn Jenner.
people, and she vexes me about it. It's not easy for me. They all run into each other. I mean, and they've got
Have
all
you
kinds
ever
of.
watched
Oh
an
God.
episode of the Kardashians? Either of you?
Okay, I was stuck in.
No, I have not. Like
I was
maybe like
stuck
2-3
somewhere. I
minutes, but I
was
couldn't.
in Singapore. I was stuck somewhere in the East many years
Oh,
back, and that was the only English program I could get. Okay, was the
okay.
Kardashians, but they would play a binge of them in the night, especially. So I
Okay.
suddenly watched about in 3 or 4 nights stuck there. Maybe it was Singapore. No, Singapore has English channels. It was somewhere, Malaysia, Indonesia, maybe. And I saw 3, 4 of them back to back, like
Okay.
15 episodes in 3 nights or
That's
something.
impressive, I guess. Kind of, sort of,
I came
maybe.
back. I came back completely addle-pated. You know, I got to be honest. Completely addle-pated.
I
Yeah.
can imagine.
When Seinfeld came up with the concept of show about nothing, there's
Yes.
Yeah,
actually a irreverence which is funny about that. But
Mm.
here's
yeah,
actually a show about nothing.
Yep.
It's actually nothing.
yeah.
It's not making fun of yourself because there's nothing much happening. That's a little different. Here, there's actually nothing.
It's
Nothing.
lifestyles
Yeah.
of the
It's
rich and
lifestyles.
famous.
And the conversation of where my car keys is one scene I remember
Yeah.
playing out, searching for the car keys and all that. I mean, it's just ridiculous. And she
No,
became the
but
biggest star ever.
it's literally lifestyles of the rich and famous. It's just in a reality show format instead of going and finding different people all the time. It's just
You got to hand it to
this.
them. I don't know what the formula is, bro, but it looks vacuous and silly. And
It
after some time, you
is.
start worrying whether you're doing the right
Like,
thing by even watching it
it's
without
amazing that
drugs.
they haven't even tried to build a concept. Remember when Paris Hilton first started
Yeah.
her stuff? At least they tried to create a concept there that Paris Hilton and that other girl, Lionel Richie's
Yeah,
daughter.
Lionel Richie's daughter. See, that's how we know
Yeah,
her.
Yeah.
Can't
yeah.
remember her name.
At least they went to
Nicole
like
Richie is the name.
Nicole
Nicole
Richie.
Richie.
The youngster, the
They
youngster.
would go to like farms and stuff like that and try and
So that
live in
was
that.
that was
At
that
least there was
exchanging
a concept there.
the rich
Yeah,
people doing the lower middle class or middle class thing.
yeah.
Yeah,
At least there's there's no concept here. Only this is just a weird like. I mean, like it's
but
just
it ran
again. I've
forever,
never
and they're going to
seen an
redo it
actual
now.
episode. Huh?
It's unbelievable how people relate to it. But my daughter, who I honestly think is really intelligent and fun,
Hmm.
I loves it. What are you going to do? And she loves Simpsons as well, which is totally different
Yeah,
tracks.
yeah.
So
So I guess
I
we
mean,
gotta
there are ample people who like Big Boss also, right? So that's the thing.
there are.
People will watch trash TV. That's trash TV for a reason. It's called trash TV
but
for a
but,
reason.
but Big
People
Boss
love it.
is the same formula, isn't it? I mean, nothing really happens. They pretend things
Yeah,
happen, and that's it. It's rubbish in that
yeah.
sense. But you
It is.
can't. But you're right.
But
It
I
sounds
like
so
watching
structured at
it
least.
see,
sometimes.
this is why the only reality TV worth watching is basically builder/engineering reality TV. All the rest of it's nonsense.
And you
It,
want to
the
know
the
why you don't have a date on Saturday
Huh?
night?
No,
What
but
guys?
dude, this stuff is fun to watch, right? I mean, the rest of it sucks, man. I mean, like, but if you watch, like, the reality TV can be good. Most of it is not.
Hmm.
I've seen some good stuff, which I'm like, oh, okay, this is pretty
No,
fun.
you're
Like,
right. If they give you a
Would
premise,
Sh-
yeah,
would
yeah,
Shark
go on.
Tank be
Sorry.
considered reality TV or is it a
it
game
is,
show?
and
Shark Tank.
No,
no, it
because
is,
there's a theme, right? There's a proper
yeah,
theme. Come and sell me your idea, and then we
yeah,
will help you go up in life. So once we have the
hmm,
theme, see, and the thing is, we all like the romance of that idea. We're backing that poor guy who comes in
yeah.
generally, or not if they're obnoxious, but generally we are. Is they represent us, etc. But what's the identification with Kim Kardashian? Those three strange sisters or two, whatever, and the mother and this guy who one-time decathlete. It's all over the
I,
place. And
so
you start.
the one that I really like, right? I mean, like, I've seen a couple of reality TV shows off late, but one that I really enjoyed, and I was surprised I enjoyed it. There's a Netflix show called Baking Impossible,
I've
which
seen that.
is
Yeah,
huh? You've seen
Yeah.
that,
yeah,
no?
it's
It's like baking
lovely.
and it's
I
like
love that.
engineering at the same time, where they're
Yeah,
building
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
robots and cars and
But it's
boats,
beautiful.
and
It's nicely presented.
it's
There's also
fun.
so in that
Huh?
sense, that also works.
Yeah.
Like I wish we
So
could do this on the podcast and people would
hmm,
watch us. Naked Attraction should come to India. What is Naked
I,
Attraction, Vivek?
I am
Right?
not sure.
I hope naked is important in the Naked Attraction. Uh,
I do
Sometimes
not know
using
what
it
that
as
is.
a foil for another meaning. Oh, God, that's so horrible. We'll check it out and we'll play that on our podcast to make sure that it's allowed. But then, what are the laws on
Yeah.
podcasts? Can you
Uh,
have a pornographic podcast? Can you discuss like really dirty things and
So
all?
we, in the last 6 months, we have now come under the scanner of OTT platform. So we are now an OTT platform, and
Oh
so
no.
we have to do. So right now we have some work going on, which everybody will start seeing like ratings on every podcast episode.
Oh
This is
God.
for A. This is for
Hmm.
PG-13. This is for 7. This is for you. You'll start seeing warnings, like in this show. So in this show, the only warning I have to give is language and drug use, right? Because those are, I think, the only two things that we really kind of discuss here.
I think that's
Uh,
really not the issues. It's our thought processes vis-a-vis who we are supporting and against. But Naked Attraction, the daring dating
But
series that
we
starts when some good dates might end naked. Oh,
okay.
that's a bit of a hollow thing. Okay.
and we also talk about COVID a lot.
We do
So
talk
the Joe
about
Rogan
COVID a
thing.
lot. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so but again, we
No,
are all fairly clear about the fact that none of us
no, no,
know anything.
and we fight, we
Yeah.
fought, and other guest community
Yeah.
argued about these points. If you have different points of view vis-a-vis COVID and how it's the process against and for. But in his case, why they went after him is only because that one bloody medicine more than anything else. It
Mm.
starts from there, and then getting those experts on. So he's going more and more
No, I
left
think
of
it's
center.
about power, right? About he has too much power, and I think part of them
That
doesn't
obviously
want
that's
one person to have
that.
that. So
No, the
that's
Well,
fact that he's
what's
got
bringing him
so many
down.
is the biggest
it's not that
problem. Yeah.
articulate either. It's not as articulate as, like, somebody saying that, hey, let's pull this guy down because he has too much power. It's more about like, let's pull somebody down, right? And
I don't know
also, I
where
mean,
it
like,
went
honestly,
wrong,
this
but
latest
it's
set of things that just came out, right? I mean, like, there's no excuse for that in 2021. I mean, like,
Yeah,
he's
the
gonna get
N-word
shit for
thing.
this. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
he
for
deserves
sure,
all the
100%.
shit in the world for that, because again, in
yeah,
20
But he
this
came out of
stuff
video
that
addressing that also,
yeah. I saw the apology.
and
Yeah,
yeah,
I don't know what
I
it looks like
mean,
every
apology.
week Joe
sure,
Rogan's going to
there's
be
no excuse to
apologizing.
do
Yeah,
that.
Every single
exactly.
week, there's something
Yeah.
coming up. Yeah,
In an American context, where you're working in America, you're living in America, you know what the
yeah.
word means. There is no excuse. There's no excuse for this word to come out of your mouth after
Also,
the
you put
1980s.
yourself up as an everyday sort of liberal guy who's
Yeah.
straight up and basic respect for
Yeah.
everybody and everything. It's not like he's anti anything in that sense.
No, but see, again, he's using the word in an academic sense, right? He's never using the word as an epithet. He's always trying to
Yeah.
use the word in the sense to kind of let's unpack what this word means, etc., etc. And you should be allowed to do that, but not on a podcast. The place to do that is a different place, right? You don't do that when you speak in public like that. That's just a weird kind of this. I
But
just
then
find the whole
again,
thing.
I
if
think by
you're
the
for
end of
free
all this,
speech,
right?
if you're for free speech, I mean, why can't he then in that case? Because then
Well,
why is anything
so again,
blasphemous? Why can't we discuss anything, including some of the
being
major religions of the world and their issues?
being problematic and being illegal are two different things. I don't think it should be illegal, but it is extraordinarily problematic, and I think much less of him. That's all it is. I'm not saying ban him. I'm not saying take him off the air. I'm not saying any of that. Nobody has the power to do that. Joe
Because
Rogan publishes himself.
I think the idea that the N word can not be used by others should be debated slightly.
Oh,
Why should it just be like a scientific fact? For example, why can't we
oh,
just have a proper discourse about it
because
and give our points of
what are
view?
you discussing? What are you discussing?
Why would it be offensive generations later for
Mhm.
someone?
So let me ask you this, right? What possible point can you make by using the actual word instead of saying the
I'm
N
just
word?
playing the devil's advocate. That's all
No,
I'm
and
saying. I'm
I'm
asking.
playing it back at you, right? That I mean,
Yeah.
like, what possible additional benefit do you get by saying the actual word instead of saying the N word? Everybody knows what the N word means. There's that whole Chris Rock thing about, like, you say the N word and in your head you're
Yeah.
going this, right? Everybody
Yeah.
knows what that word means, but it's polite society. You don't say the word out loud.
You for sure, because you're the word master. I mean, there's no doubt about that. For you, it's walk in the park. Yeah. Anyway, maybe Joe Rogan's just going through a bad phase in terms of support. But
Yes,
again, I
he
think
is.
he aligned himself against CNN and started there. Where CNN
Hmm,
is also to blame a little bit. They seem to have just poked the bear for more than they should have. And then
hmm,
that Sanjay Gupta episode was horrible. Honestly, it was
hmm.
horrible.
Yeah.
That's really been a problem because he looked like a bully. And he's really, after that, this all has started, the polarizing from sides, including us. We were all big Joe Rogan fans, and Amit, you've gone to almost now being a non-fan, and I'm on the fence. And Silvery still trying to save Joe Rogan, but deep down he knows he's losing a relative here.
But
Yeah,
again, I was
I
never a
mean,
huge fan, right? I
yeah.
never listened to his 2.5 hours. I always was a YouTube consumer, and I'll continue to be a YouTube consumer. If Joe Rogan has Bill Burr on for 15 minutes, I'll listen to that. If Joe
Yeah.
Rogan has Dave Chappelle on, I'll listen to that. I don't hate him or anything like that. It's not like he's going to,
if Joe
like,
Rogan has
oh, Joe
Raju
Rogan means
Srivastav
I'm
on,
done.
will you listen?
Huh?
Yeah, that'll be great. I'll listen to that full
Yeah,
episode
absolutely.
for sure. Yeah.
Wow.
Absolutely. Raju Srivastav is the highest paid comedian in India, right? I think you once told me that.
Not
Didn't you?
anymore. I think
Not
He
Kapil
once told
Sharma.
you himself?
No,
Oh,
Cyrus once told me that.
oh, Cyrus has told you. Okay.
Kapil Sharma is the highest paid comedian.
Ah,
I mean,
okay, all right.
I think
a
right
comedian
now
who's
Zakir could
openly
be the
comic.
highest
There are
paid
other comedians
Oh,
who pretend not to be
Veer
comedians, so
Das,
they make a
actually.
lot of money.
I'm not sure.
oh.
Veer
No,
Das in
Veerdas is
India?
an English language comic. If he's getting paid
Yeah,
for international stuff. He's not getting paid for
yeah,
Indian stuff, right?
yeah.
I think Zakir
Kapil is.
then Upanyu then would be the highest right now in India.
Yeah.
Zakir Khan
I
and
still think
Upanyu.
Kapil will be charging the most in terms of
Okay.
an event.
That
I'll
could
check. I'll
very
book him
well
for
be
your
true.
shadi. Are you getting
If you're
married?
talking about events, I think you're probably right. It probably is couple.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, yeah.
If you're
Probably
talking about
would be
events, if
right.
you're talking about somebody getting paid for a stand up, it might not be couple. It might be Raju, right? But
he
for an
doesn't do
event,
that.
there's
He doesn't do much stand up because he's so
That's exactly
popular. He
what
does
Kapil. I
private
don't think he
events.
does that.
But so does
yeah,
Zakir now. Does he do any stand up, or he's just
he
doing
does.
corporate events?
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, like, it's still
Yeah,
stand
he's
up. No,
still.
it's a
Yeah.
version of his act.
Is he doing
But
proscenium stand ups where he just goes and performs and you pay money and go and watch him? I don't think that too much of that's
I
happening.
mean, not right now because the
He
pandemic,
does his
but it
specials
will
and
be
then he does
back
the
soon.
corporate stuff.
It will be back
They
very
all want to
soon.
make money. These comedians are hideous people. They just want to make
No,
money.
but
Nobody wants to really
the main
entertain.
money is from touring,
Horrible.
right? So all these people tour. The main money comes
Yeah.
from touring. The special and
Yeah.
all,
And then
the
you
money
find their
is
cousins are
apparently
tour
not as much.
operators. They ride the
I
buses with
would,
them and organize the hotel
I,
bookings. It's all a fucking big
I,
scam, bro. Big scam.
I would think
Comedy.
more than touring, it's probably corporate, right? Corporate stuff is probably much higher paying,
Corporate stuff
right?
Absolutely.
also
But
pays quite a lot. Yeah, yeah.
corporate stuff is
It
Yeah,
the
pays
best because
it's probably
basically
more.
there's no
Yeah.
cost to company ever from your
yeah.
side and you just go and there's no damage. It's a
And
private
you're
thing.
also probably going to Bombay, Delhi, or Bangalore, one of these three cities. So it's
Goa,
relatively easy to
Chandigarh
travel.
is now big. Hyderabad has staff.
Okay.
Chennai also. Yeah, but for English, Hindi, the 3, 4 cities you mentioned, and then
Yeah.
beyond that,
No,
like
basically, you're going to a big city. You're not going like to the middle of nowhere.
if you're a French comedian in India, Pondicherry, good work there.
Mm.
Get some stuff. Get a
Right.
crew, get an audience. Good stuff. Yeah. Guys, I can tell you it's 6:54, and I don't think we did a topic.
We did not
So
do a
why
topic.
We talked about
spoil?
Lata Mangeshkar. We
That
definitely had
wasn't
to.
But that
okay.
That's
was
kind of a
just
topic.
yeah, because one of the
Sure.
famous people that we know in our lifetime dies a few hours ago. By the way, I want to talk to you
Yeah.
about another thing. So Kunal forwarded us this message saying Lata Mangeshkar left for heavenly abode at 8:12 a.m. and for specific lines like that. I get the jitters when I see these things because I find it very
Yeah.
insincere. Detailing. That they're
Who
forwarded
wrote
with
this
like
message?
whoever did
Who?
it, and then you forward it in this zeal that you're so happy to spread it in a
Yeah.
sense with these. I don't know. It just seems insensitive. Am I wrong? What do you think?
I would agree. For me, I mean, like, the thing that I prefer, like, rather than getting a forward, right? And I've had this happen in both ways, right? One would be like a forward that this person died at this point, or a news article forwarded, or something like that. And then the other thing
Hmm.
that I've had, and this happened to me when I think it was Scott Whelan died, the Stone Temple Pilots guy. This and some a friend of mine who was also a fan of the music. Hey, dude, did you hear Scott Whelan died? That to me felt more natural, felt
That
real,
would be
right?
the way to do it, I would think.
Yeah,
If you're, I mean, that's just
Yeah.
real. But this
yeah,
sending us
Yeah.
a
Correct.
six line epitaph, which has a little bit of a ring to it, at exactly 8:12, left for the
mhm,
heavenly abode. What is that? I mean,
yeah. No, that's a newspaper announcement.
yeah. No, this forward was sent to everyone. Obviously, it went all over the world. It's
Yeah.
unbelievable. And imagine me reaching family members. Last thing you want to see something like that. It's ridiculous. But I remember my dad was very good with this. When his cousin passed away, I remember him calling landline, call the phone to say I'm running late, wherever I was, I'll come home late. He said, anyway, we have got some bad news. My cousin Casey, LBW. That's it.
Okay.
Not to be insensitive, but in our world, that's good enough. Leg before wicket, because that decision is given by the umpire. So it's a proper
Yeah.
metaphor for everything in life,
Oh.
and death. Yeah. But yeah, please, guys, these forwards have to stop when people die. And again, the zeal to be the first investigative reporter to break the story in the family group and send it. Why? Why is it so
Yeah.
important to
I
get that
had
brownie
that.
point?
That happened yesterday, right? Lata Mangeshkar was not the only person who passed away. There was somebody in my family who passed away as well, and I
Oh,
got
I'm
a
so sorry.
message from. No, it's fine. I mean, not very close, at least not to me personally, right? But I mean, obviously to the parents, the
So do
kids
you
and stuff.
retract the story? You don't retract the story. You got to be
No, no,
careful
I
I
with that
don't,
mean,
one.
because I mean, there's the story is just simply more along like how the three people who sent me the message. It felt to me like they were racing to make sure that they were first, and that was just
It's
like,
always that. It's
yeah.
always that. It's almost like the moment it happens, they want to just send the
hmm.
message to be the guy who's the plaudits will come in. He sent the message, but left for the heavenly
Hmm.
abode at exactly 8:12 a.m. I
Yeah,
poetry at the right time.
it
Wait,
was a
wait.
bit
Maybe he was
much.
trying to find a pattern. See, she died at the age of 92. 8, 12. 8 plus 1 is 9. 92. There's a pattern, man.
Now, if you
That's what
can
he's trying to say.
have such an Arabic
I
sort
don't
of
know.
mind at this point, why don't you do it with the words? Why is it that
I
you've got
just,
this attitude with words, but
I
with
know.
numbers, you're fantastic?
I,
You should
I'm
become a numbers
adult-pated when
comedian.
it comes to words.
Bro, just be a numbers comedian. All your jokes are numbers. And 17 said to 34, buy me something. Okay, guys, there's no time for any
Yes.
topics. Let's do AMA.
Yeah,
It's
yeah. Let's go to
6:58.
AMS. Sure, sure. All
Hello.
right. This one comes in from Vineet Khandelwal. He says, Cyrus and Amit, will we get to see you guys as sharks in coming seasons or Shark Tank India?
Uh, I don't make anywhere near enough money to be a Shark Tank shark.
Yeah,
Cyrus
but
should be.
wow. Thanks for the thoughts. That's as insincere as the forwards we just spoke about. Uh, Not only that, if you're going to be a Shark Tank in whatever culture, sort of, jury member, you've got to be a guy who people respect for their enterprising vision and performance. Plus obviously have money. If you don't have money to show, then it means nothing. So Amit, you're on your way. Me, from what angle will I ever get respect? And that too for enterprise and that kind of thing. I'm the least enterprising person I know. I'm the guy in the German army who you make sure joins the army because he'll do what he's told and he'll do it at the right time. That's it. So basically, I'm like a German Shepherd or a monkey. You take your pick. So
So
no,
somebody
I
is
don't think
asking
so.
if we could get one of the sharks for this show. We'll try for this show,
Let's
but
get.
just
We are
no, we'll
already
try. We'll
trying.
try.
Yeah,
But
we're
just
already trying.
FYI, so Vinita was on was on Shunya One. Vinita from Sugar Cosmetics. Aman from Boat was on Advertising is Dead, and one more shark was on somewhere, but I can't remember where right now. But it has happened. It's not never happened yet.
Maya, we need some information on Kylie Jenner. She had a second child with some David Frost fellow, but not the
Travis
journalist.
Scott.
Travis, what?
David Frost.
Dave
Travis Scott.
Frost.
And who's Travis Scott?
David Frost.
That's his stage name. It's not even his real name. Okay.
Yeah. I didn't know that. I
His
don't
real
know
name is
anything about
Jacques something. See, now you're getting information, guys.
Yeah,
You
wow,
guys
this
don't
is
know your Kardashian. This is the
giving me
Google,
what?
Kardashian Google.
Yeah, Google.
Yo, Travis is actually Jacques. I mean, it's Jacques Webster. Wow. I'm so proud. You're going to land a good job with that. And she knows her
All right.
Kardashians. I'm not kidding, man. It's amazing. Sorry, next one.
Next one comes in from Berserk. He says, "Hello everyone. Do you know that there is an It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia video podcast now with 3 leads done somewhat in character? What other shows would you like to be made into a podcast?"
Seinfeld.
Seinfeld. Yeah,
I've
that's
seen this.
Seinfeld.
I've seen
100%.
this podcast, by the way. It's great. The
Yeah.
Always Sunny podcast.
Seinfeld, because it's actually an audio show. It's all, I mean,
Yeah.
it's not really, you don't need
Yeah,
too much
that'll be
vision
great,
in
actually.
Seinfeld. They
Yeah.
shot everything in a lot, 90% of the shoot. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
there, but this is one where they're doing it in character, right? But some of the recap podcasts.
No, not really. I don't know. I think Berserk is saying it a little wrong.
Okay.
Because basically the premise of the podcast is that they watch an episode before coming on the podcast and they talk about
So
that
it's a
episode. It's
recap
not
podcast.
really in character.
So there are
It's a recap
two
podcast. Yeah.
there are two
So it's
which I
promoting
really
the show.
like that. No, it's just basically it's old. It's an older show now, right? So I mean, like what you're doing
Yeah,
is you're going
15
back
seasons,
and
yeah.
telling you stories and stuff
Yeah.
like that, right?
So promoting
the-
the show, so you carry on watching it. That's what I'm
sort
saying.
of promoting,
Promo,
like so.
But it's
for
not really
example-
promoting. You're
So
preaching to the
but
choir, kind of.
If they're talking
They're
in
already
character
listeners.
about daily affairs of that day and
Uh-huh.
time in life, which is not to do with the show from 15 seasons ago,
Uh-huh.
then it's like a separate entity where they've just taken it and morphed into that. That's what I'm saying.
No, but
Oh,
so there's a
Sylvie took
really
a call.
good. Sorry.
No, sorry, I got a call from outside.
He took a call.
I
Okay.
was telling them I'm in a recording, guys. Sorry, I can't
Okay.
answer.
So there's
Who
a
died?
there's a really good podcast called The West Wing Weekly, which basically does this for the West Wing. Every week, Rishikesh Rurve, who is the host of a podcast called Song Exploder, and Joshua
us?
Malina. No, he's an Indian
okay.
guy, but not this Rishi, different Rishi. But basically he does a show called The West Wing this, and then also Rob Lowe and Alan Yang do a Parks and Recreation show. Which is really, really cool as well.
I
And
remember
then
Rob
there are a
Lowe
couple
in the show, but who's Alan Yang?
Alan Yang is one of the creators. He's one of the
Okay.
producers behind the show.
Okay.
He's also
So
the co-creator of Master of None with
He's
Aziz
a-
Ansari on
yeah,
Netflix.
yeah, he's a co-creator of that.
I didn't like that show.
You didn't like
Oh,
Master
I
really
just
of
think
like
I'm
that.
racist. It's tough for me to
Great.
enjoy Indians.
I enjoyed the first one. I didn't like the second one. I thought the second one was a little too
Oh,
up its own
I
ass.
loved him
I thought the
as,
second one was
Tom
way superior than the first
have
one
a-
even.
have a
Because the
Ford or
first
whatever
one
his
was
name
funny and the second one was self-indulgent. That's what my thought was, right? The first one was just
Okay,
like funny.
I really like that love story in the second one. That really like I
where
really
that
like
girl
that.
accused him of molesting her in the bath.
No,
It's
no.
like, first, you don't understand how you're in the bath and then expect no molestation. What are you doing in the bath?
No,
Playing
that wasn't in the
soap?
bath. That wasn't in the bath.
It was.
That
It
is
was
a,
in the bath. The famous story where she went after him. Our guys
yeah,
will
that
tell
wasn't
us.
in the bath. That was in his apartment. But man, why we bring that back up?
Because
again?
I don't want you to repeat it, and history repeats itself.
Oh,
next time
okay.
you have
Cool,
a-
cool. I won't.
There's a-
I won't. I promise.
There's a season 3 of Master of None.
Yeah. Season 3. Aziz is directed the entire season. It just came out during the pandemic, like I think a few months
Oh,
back, 3-4 months.
Okay,
back.
I didn't even know there was a
Yeah,
season 3.
But there's a
Interesting.
season 3. That
Came
means
out,
2
yeah.
did well enough. There's no
Yeah.
way they'll do season 3
Yeah.
if 2 tank.
Well, I mean, it's Netflix now. What does tank mean on Netflix?
But word of mouth has to be good at least.
Yeah, so
You
and,
sort of-
uh,
come on, I don't think there's any show out there which is not popular. You sort of get that vibe. You guys discuss it all the time.
Yeah.
Really. Please, Sylvie, also push our show onto Netflix, no? Why aren't we on Netflix? Why can't a
We're working
podcast
on
be on Netflix? Netflix
working
can be
on it.
awfully boring at times.
there
What
are
the hell?
podcasts on Netflix. The David Letterman show is a podcast. It's a 1-hour podcast.
There you go. The one where he had
It's-
Shah Rukh
yeah.
on, no? The one with the
So
beard.
my
whatever
next
it's
guest
called.
needs no
My
introduction.
next guest, yeah,
My-
it's a
oh.
podcast. Even the Chelsea whatever show, that one's also a podcast. These talk shows,
Even
the
they
long
tried a
talk
few.
shows are
I think
different
that
to me.
Norm
Where is
Macdonald has a
marketing?
show.
Where's marketing when we
I don't
need
know,
them?
some kind of-
Huh?
Let's get onto Netflix.
Let's
Our
try.
podcast should be on Netflix. We can reach more people. There are English-speaking people in China who don't know about us. We need to reach those people. Because even like if it's just maybe 200,000 Chinese English-speaking people who are probably prisoners, I mean, come on, for God's sake.
Hey,
Our
look
show
at
should
that.
just be for immigrants. We should do a show called it's just like for immigrants. People who don't fit in. That's our show. I'm changing the name of the show. What is immigrants in
Nice.
Hindi, Silvery? I'm going to ask you two now. Your
I
Hindi is
don't
almost as
know.
bad as mine.
That's a
but
good
anyway,
question.
there you go.
I don't
Half
know.
an hour
Isn't it?
What
later,
is
the addle-pated men that we are.
But
Yeah.
isn't it immigration only because it's written
Guspet?
immigration only in Hindi?
He's trying. He's going. Sorry, Amit. He's trying for it. Yeah.
Yeah,
what
no,
does
I-
Guspetia mean? I don't know. I know the term. Something about infiltrator.
And we go
something
back
like that.
now to Hindi word games. The karma has come to a full circle from English to Hindi. We're still stuck.
think I'm
We don't know
somewhat
any friggin' language. Baloni Uno
Nirvasit.
says Nirvasit.
Nirvasit. Yeah, it sounds sort of kind of correct.
Sounds for sure sounds
Nirvasi,
correct. Yeah,
Nirvasit. Sounds,
Nivasi. Yeah,
yeah, sounds like
Nivasi.
it's in the
Intruder
ballpark.
is Ghuspetia.
Hmm.
Is an intruder.
You
Apravasya.
learn
No,
nothing
no,
from
I mean,
I think this
I
is
mean,
right. Huh?
it's
Oh God,
Apravasya. I think this is right.
Thomas
Apravasya.
is Apravasya. Yo, that was quick. You
Okay.
think they Googled it or they knew it? I want to know
Yeah,
how many
yeah,
people know these
definitely.
things.
100%
Just
Google. Our
Googling, I
audience has
mean,
not got that kind of Hindi vocabulary.
no, that's true. I mean,
Yeah.
who does? I mean, if we woke Premchand up from the dead, he'd be like, nahi, pata nahi. I mean, I'm sure. This is ridiculous. Yeah. All right, let's take it's 7-5. What's going on, guys? We will end this.
Yes, yes, let's.
Yes.
Rahul Sharma asks, hello everyone. Veer Das mentioned on Rohan Joshi's stream that Cyrus, Veer, and Gaurav Kapoor auditioned for Delhi Belly. Can you tell about that experience? Cyrus, you remember?
I did. I couldn't find the building. I ran late because I couldn't find it somewhere in Bandra. It was really horrible. I don't remember the experience. The audition was really short. I don't think they were very keen on me. But there was some sort of audition. It was like 1 minute in front of camera, and it was in English, so that was the only good thing. But yeah, I did audition. I don't think I knew Veer Das at that point. Maybe he was just starting, so I didn't know him. And did I meet Gaurav there? I may have met Gaurav there. It's too much for me to remember. Yeah, but Gaurav went from fat to thin, so he used to worry me. Like he was this 19-year-old prodigy in Delhi when we started MTV in '96. He was this young kid, and everyone's talking about him because he's a gift of the gab and really interesting guy and all that. And he was all that, but he was also large. And then suddenly a few months later or a year later, whatever, he was really thin because he's got this diabetic issue and all that, which now he passed on to me. So yeah, so I know him much better than I know Veer. Veer I've only met 2-3 times, and yeah, so we've never really hugged, although he's been nice. I mean, he's always they always say things like we respect you so much, and then start sniggering, like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's my
So,
memory of that damn audition. But then Kunal Roy Kapoor Veer got the part. Correct.
you got the part.
Or maybe
Yeah.
I met Kunal Roy Kapoor. I don't know, but I couldn't find the building. See, that I remember. And remember, guys, I had no phone. Okay, so I have to find PCOs to call people with in my hand. There's a white paper, badly written numbers. And I'm saying, is it 8 or 6? What the hell is this? I mean, I used to really struggle when I couldn't find places. First, you go by cab. Then I think it was raining as well. Then to find a PCO, go to a shop, they won't let you use the phone, all that shit. Oh, it was very painful. How do you get there's no chance with the audition? It's terrible. I was making my own
Hey,
film, Mumbai Belly, underneath.
somebody's asking you an interesting question about your trip to Mard. Why didn't you take a ferry from Warsaw?
Because I think it's a derogatory term to call anyone a fairy, one. And two, I'll explain. It shouldn't have been that bad a drive. The GPS had said 1 hour 46 minutes or something like that. So I mean, you're saving about 20 minutes by going all the way there and then whatever. It wasn't really worth it. Then we got this unknown traffic which happened because these guys have indiscipline in that area. And it's a small pathway where they're coming from this side, you're coming from this side, no one's giving way. It was just that. There was no reason for it. But there was no cop in sight. Not a cop car, not a saluting officer. No sense of that greatness of some, great ruler coming from wherever and going wherever, and they all stand and salute. I only see them in our area, bro. As we start going north, we see less of them. I'm telling you, by the reach the Gujarat border, they're extinct. You can't find them. They're really very sad.
Makes sense.
But yeah, I'm
Yogesh
taking the
Pardeshi
ferry.
has a.
Yeah. With MTV,
Sorry,
I took
please
the
go ahead.
ferry a lot. We used to take the ferry a lot to save that 20 minutes, half an hour. But it's not exactly that great an idea, honestly, let me tell you. Yeah. There's also a lot of common folk on the ferry, and sometimes they touch you. It can be painful. Yeah.
All right. Yogesh Pardeshi
I'm just
has a
kidding.
comment.
Don't write to me. Yeah.
He says, guys, are you aware that the BCCI had no money to celebrate the 83 World Cup win?
Nothing.
And Lata Mangeshkar helped with 20 lakh Indian national INR. And out of that money, players were awarded 1 lakh each. It's pretty cool, yeah?
Yeah.
I have no idea
And,
about that.
of course, because of Rasing Nugapur's influence, etc., and also became more and more crazy. But the point is, can you imagine what it was like in the 70s for these guys to meet her? Okay, because she was huge, and they were many of them like Dilip Sardar was this young boy from Goa who hardly spoke a word of English and all that. He was just enthralled that she would, in England in the '74 tour, I think she comes with Raj Singh and she sang for them like at a party where you paid someone to be ye gao, wo gao, request. She did that like 20 of them around a barbecue, and he just couldn't believe it's like his dreams came true. Just imagine when you come from another background, you sometimes don't even know you're famous or whatever, and you meet people who you think are famous. How that applies. I mean, I would never understand this personally, but other people do. Yeah. Any
Okay.
last one you
Akshay
want to
K.
take? Yeah.
Sure. Akshay K has a question that why has Cyrus stopped saying like the stream and subscribe to the channel?
So like the stream and subscribe to the channel. Akshay K, you're bang on. I should have said it. It's my fault. I've been sent texts every day. But I think because I fumble on these lines. They'll tell you I'm very bad with any formal lines. So, I stumble on them. So we decided not to do it. We let
So
Cedric
I
handle
think
them.
what we need to do, we'll talk about this, but basically we need to just repackage this into that first 22
Exactly.
seconds where
Exactly.
we get Cyrus
Instead
to
of that,
say like the scream and
instead
package
of
the thing.
what was clearly Mozart and Beethoven's love child giving us that music in the beginning, we could do that. That would be.
Yeah.
Amit, you're on mute. Someone on strike.
I don't think I'm on
No,
mute.
he's not.
But it says mute and he's
Isn't it?
still talking.
That's just
You defeat your
the
technology.
It's magic. It's
it's
magic that we do, Cyrus.
we're doing like all
Technology
kinds of.
lies to us. This is how they lie to us. This is a double
So
headed snake of technology.
It's
I'm
actually
muted from
yeah.
the laptop and I'm connected from Rishi's connection.
All right, Rishi,
So
somewhere
yeah, because
on the
see this
floor
map,
below.
this mic is connected into a soundboard, which is connected into
Hey, Akshay
Rishi,
K,
which is connected there.
read that. I mean, come on, you need to read this because even if
So
he's
he said
lying, it
comment
sounds nice.
in the production of Cyrus's YouTube live streams. Congrats, IBM team.
I think they're talking about my background right now.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
only you because me and
That's
him
what
are the
that's
same.
the only thing
We,
that
we
we
don't
have
leave
to
our
say.
mother's house.
See, there you
So,
go. There you go. Cyrus should learn from
okay.
Amit's background.
Yeah, my background is my lovely daughter. How do you? Does he like women or men? Bruce Jenner. What's his name now? Kathleen. Does he like women or men? Just tell us that so we can end the podcast. Does he like women or men?
How would I know? He said he's not dating right now.
So is he a she? So she likes women or she likes men in her capacity now?
She said she always liked women.
She always liked
Yeah, she
women.
did say that.
Okay, so
Yeah.
Amit, you were right.
She
So
still loves Chris,
she still loves Chris,
but she wants to focus on herself.
but she wants to focus on herself. You guys want any more from the Kardashians? I'll have a
She's
separate
running.
segment with Maya and a
Oh.
spotlight.
Read her book and get on your podcast.
She's written a book. She who was he?
No, Caitlyn Jenner.
Caitlyn Jenner.
Caitlyn Jenner.
Becoming Caitlyn Jenner is a bestseller. Apparently, I need to get
Yeah.
that book. Why don't we get her on the show? We need her on the show.
We shall
Info
try.
Shots is proud of Maya. Maya, you've become a celeb, bro.
The most
Okay.
famous right hand in the most famous hand on shoulder in YouTube history.
Wow. Hand on shoulder. That's so many hidden meanings to that.
No,
Maya,
they're
show
not
your
hidden
face
meaning.
now. She refuses to show her face.
I know.
It's a
That's why she's
cultural
only
thing.
the hand, right? She's a
only the
disembodied
hand.
hand who comes and taps on the shoulder.
And this technology that you have is because of her, from my side. May not have your frame though. Okay, guys, we have to go for dinner. I'm getting poked and hit here by my daughter.
Okay,
In the words
just
of
before
yeah.
before we end, last
yeah,
thing.
yeah,
So, so Ramanathan Neelakantan has brought up something that
Yeah.
Amit had teased the topic last week, and
Yeah.
just I want an update. Is it something that you can share at this point, and can we do it next episode, or
No,
is that
it's
something
not.
that you don't want
It's
to share?
not. It's not. It's something behind the scenes. I
Oh,
cannot.
you're never going to share it?
I'll come up with something next time.
You'll make
I'll
it up
find
on the
something
Okay.
else which is appropriately behind the scenes. Which I can actually talk about.
Okay, fair
So-
enough.
so-
So, like
so
the
I'll make
government, we are
that.
transparent. You're clear.
I'll
You're very
make it good.
transparent.
I'll
There
make
you
good
go.
of it.
All
Yes.
right. Yes, boss.
That's
Caitlyn
it.
Jenner signing off from this side. Have a good day. Caitlyn. What? Caitlyn Jenner signing off. Okay, don't spell it for God's sake. Okay, bye, guys. Bye. Really, I mean, Caitlyn.